Would be not the brew house, would be
He
nice.
spent a night or two in the hotel here, but he golfed with us on Friday, and I got to talk to him. Did I go? Yeah, yeah.
It was,
On
6 o'clock.
On Saturday.
Maybe they're on vacation or something.
No, he didn't.
But
I think that might be
do
the
it
first one he's
now,
never gone.
as opposed to like when the time changes.
Well, a lot of his
and it
BG
gets dark.
buddies.
You know what I'm saying?
Keith Caldwell
Do I go
didn't
for a
He's right here.
weeknight or an
Tom
evening,
Swan,
or do I go for like
Hmm?
an
Prior
afternoon?
airport board meeting.
I wish I could find a picture. I got a picture.
Got
Like
off the
if you
cruise.
happy.
Okay, this coming up.
Which I wanted to ask you about yours. Every third Wednesday. Keep forgetting or haven't had a
Yeah,
chance.
no, we're
Yeah.
fine. There were
But-
several people on it, but.
He went to Alaska too, but a bunch of people got it on the
Oh,
cruise.
wow.
Communication.
About,
Vance's,
was he
yeah.
on our, the same?
No, no, he was the week before. He just got back a week ago Saturday.
What about, yeah, we're ready to go. What about,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
but,
he was
yeah, like I said, I'm gone this weekend and next week, and then I'm home, unless something.
At the Sulphur Festival last
Uh,
year. It says, I was gonna put a sign on face.
Never put the beer garden in and around that. That's for making
I
mint.
was gonna put, tell him, I said, hey, look at the sign. That's where I go. All right, you ready, guys?
I'm probably,
Standing room only.
probably getting recorded.
Cambridge
on that.
City Council now be in session. Would you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance?
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Evancho.
Here.
Hill.
Here.
Laufman.
Here.
Leonard.
Here.
McMillan.
Here.
Wolverton. Zaleski.
Here,
Mr. Zaleski,
make a motion, we excuse Councilman Wolverton.
Mr. Leonard.
A second.
All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's granted. Reading of the minutes. Mr. Leonard
I make a motion, we dispense the reading of minutes and place on file.
and Mr. Zaleski.
I'll second that.
All in favor of that motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's granted. Mayor's report. Mayor Orr.
And you said that kind of quick, President. I didn't know it. Get up there, get up there. Hurry up. But, good evening, everybody. Got a few things here in front of us. I have the following. Number one, request from the fire department. A, to appropriate $3,500 from the sale of a boat to the equipment line item. And then B, to enter into contract with Palmier Medical Management Group for EMS billing purposes. And two, request from the Utilities Director to enter into agreement and accept and appropriate funds from the $12,000 from BWC grant. And number three, request executive session with committee as a whole to discuss economic development.
Okay, the first two will be sent to Finance Committee, and as you stated, the committee as a whole will get the third one.
Good, I've got a couple little things here. Feel free to catch me up on anything if something hits you afterwards. Just an update down on the Wills Creek Drive Habitat, which we're a strong active participant in that, is finishing up a house down there. It's looking pretty good. That's been always a kind of a different kind of lot there. That was like a property code situation. We always mowed it and things. Hopefully that'll be a positive experience. We've had both positive and a little bit rougher sometimes, but bottom line is it's a need, and looks like it's going to do the trick. So just give you an update on that. I'm sure you heard it on the radio. Thank you very much for getting that out there. We had a water line break the other day, last week late, and I can't emphasize how much our employees responded and held up their own all through the night. It started around 2 in the morning, and it ran all day until 8 the following night. And then on this weekend, even though we had a 24-hour lapse where we had a rest period, it came out with a vengeance over the weekend. We had 4 more in different spots of the city, which is not uncommon. That was a 15-inch directly behind the water plant, right beside a 30-plus inch, and encased in concrete with the jackhammer going, and they were being very surgical. Had that big one went, we'd had a serious emergency. And with that said, I want to say thank you to the EMA out of the county. Lou Thornton activated them a little early, but there is no such thing as early when it could have went south. And we had some free water come in for those that were worked up if their water was a little stirred up, which most every place in the city had a little bit. The worst was contained in the Southgate area, but it was hour to hour. It could have went anyway. I just want to say, when I seen the level of how close we came there, that was the most dangerous thing I'd seen there in a long time. On the bridge, Southgate Bridge, if you didn't already know it, I mentioned it before, we have it online where you can watch a time-lapse scenario of that on our website. And that's been okayed by ODOT, and it's very interesting. And I want to thank the participants in that, fire department, and having the drone up there, and just, it's really kind of cool. And then I just want to say thank you to the residents of the South Side. Being patient. Yeah, everybody deals with some phase of it, but when you go down, cut through there and I don't know how many of them sit down in there, but I try to make a couple trips a week, and that bang, bang, bang. Pretty soon you're doing this, bang, bang. So anyhow, for all, we're trying to get through it. They're doing really good on their time situation so far, but I'm afraid to say too much because I've seen too many other things go sideways. But anyhow, at this point, and I still don't know who the guy was on the backhoe that drove out on the cut of that concrete and pulling that backwards. It's not going to be me, I can tell you that. Salt Fork Festival was in town over the weekend. It's completely phenomenal. It's gotten better, and I know it sounds cheesy. Well, oh yeah, the mayor, sure he's going to say that. Well, no, I've really been there every year since they brought that back, and they only missed 1 year. And for the volunteers and the passion and getting in them, and they said it best. They had more vendors in the tent. Just you could tell just the parking situation. There was just more people than there was here before, and there was energy behind it. And the group out there did a great job. And I heard some new names volunteering. That was, you know, people keep saying, well, we're worried about having volunteers. Well, you know, for a town our size, we battle pretty good. And congratulations to them. Class reunions in town. Most of you guys were tied in some phase in there. But again, it's that weekend. You know, people come in, they know they're going to see somebody walking by. If you get out of your house and go out there, you're going to run into at least 1 or 2 people. You just, wow, I haven't seen them in 20 years. And stuff like that. So there's an energy that goes with that. Also in the park, tennis courts are done, but they painted the pickleball courts afterwards, got the 4 of them done, you know, and then their group did respond to the park board a little bit, and they raised some money, and that same guy's coming back and paint 2 more. So that's all going to be, it's just going to look good. It already does, and with the trees maturing, Marty's been trimming some of them, and had some strange events over the weekend that wonders someone must have climbed a couple of the trees out there. No one saw it, but we had to work on some things. But anyhow, that's really looking good on that end there. Now, on the bad side of things, if I had to pick, the pool is closed. And we're going to be hot next week and the week after that. We've been battling this for about 5 years now. I don't know what happened to the old days where school started in the last week of August or the first week of September, and I'm old school. By the 8th of August, these kids flip clear out. They're going to college. They're mentally gone. They're not coming to, they're just done. And we barely made it through the weekend. Timmy did everything he could to keep everything sewed together. There will be water in the pool, and it's going to look awful lonely with nothing going on. And somebody's probably going to say something, but, you know, I'm trying to get ahead of it. We are going to put the new heater back in, and they need that water in there to run it through so that it can't drain it any too quick. To the kids out there, school's going to be starting, buses are going to be running, new bus garage. We do have access to the old bus garage. It's going to get a current survey authorized by our law director and before we switch the title. So that's where we're at with that. All the sports teams, good luck. They've already started, some of them, and I believe the football team kicks off Thursday night in the stadium. So that's interesting. And then Main Street has hired a new director. I met her just faintly in a meeting and had to leave, but her name is Carrie Fritz, and I'm interested to talk to her more going forward, and I'm sure she'll be available. She was in the office today, was my understanding. So that's what I know right now. We had some other strange situations last week. I'll just leave them lay.
All right, any questions, Mayor? Yes.
It's not a question, but to go along with your kudos, last year we purchased the property down at Oxford and Charles, there by the water plant. down by Old Nichols. And I just wanted to say, putting the recycling station there was very wise use of that property. It gets used a lot. You're not interfering with the city traffic going in and out of there, and don't have to worry about the gate being closed or anything. So I just wanted to say, that was a good move, is buying that property and then putting those recycling trailers there.
It seems to be working as well as any site we've had, but long-term, that probably will be part of the actual plan at some point. I don't know what year that'll happen. I probably won't be there for that, but somebody will. But thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, President.
Okay, we'll go to communications.
The first one I have is a request from the fire department from the local 910 IAFF. This is their annual request to seek authorization to solicit funds for the muscular dystrophy Fill the Boot, and they want to do that on September the 1st.
Wishes, Mr. Laughlin,
Motion to refer to city services?
Mr. McMillan.
Second the motion?
All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Next, please.
A request from the city auditor seeking additional appropriations for indigent burials and legal fees.
Yeah, Ms. McMillan,
Motion to refer to finance?
Laughlin.
Second the motion.
All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Next, please.
I have another request for a fill the boot type of a solicitation from the Rotary Club. They do this every year in October for, to raise money for polio. And their date is October 19th.
Ms. Hill,
Motion to refer to city services.
Mr. Vancho.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of that motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Next,
I have the park board minutes from July the 12th.
Mr. Leonard,
Make a motion, we accept and place on file.
Mr. Zaleski.
I'll second that.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Next, please.
I have the notice from zoning and planning. This is just for your information. They will be holding a hearing on Wednesday, August the 30th at 4 o'clock here in council chambers. They have a request from a resident wanting to reduce the minimum lot area requirements from 5,000 square feet to 2,352 square feet at the property at 1401 Markwind Avenue. So again, that's Wednesday, August the 30th at 4 o'clock for zoning and planning.
Okay, next, please.
I have the monthly reports from the auditor, the treasurer, and the municipal court.
Ms. McMillan
Motion to accept, place on file?
and Ms. Hill.
Second that motion.
All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion is granted. Reports committees.
Report of Finance Committee, August the 7th. We recommend that the following transfers and appropriations be approved. Transfer $1,500 from municipal court miscellaneous to travel and school. Appropriate $25,000 to EMHA grant salaries. Appropriate $4,000 to EMHA grant PERS. Appropriate $25,000 to EMHA grant miscellaneous. And appropriate $7,238.08 to code enforcement services by contract.
Any questions in the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, August the 7th. We recommend that council authorize the administration to advertise for bids and enter into contract for the Edgeworth Waterline project.
Any questions in the committee on that report? Okay, next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, August the 7th. We recommend that council authorize the administration to request proposals and enter into an agreement for a construction project inspector.
Any questions in the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, August the 7th. We recommend that council authorize the administration to sign water wastewater grant program agreement and appropriate funds.
Any questions in the committee on that report? Next, please.
Report of Finance Committee, August the 7th. We recommend that council authorize the administration to execute the EPA grant agreement and appropriate funds.
Any questions in the committee on that report? Okay, we'll go on to unfinished business. Anything under unfinished business? If not, we'll go to the audience portion. Does anybody wishes to address council tonight? Okay, we'll move on to new business. Seeing nothing, we'll go to ordinances and resolutions.
An ordinance of transfers and appropriations.
Mr. Laughlin,
Motion to suspend?
Mr. Leonard,
Second.
roll call on suspension, please.
Loffman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Mr. Mr. Evancho,
Motion to pass?
Mr. Zaleski.
I'll second to pass.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to advertise for bids and enter into contract for the Edgeworth Waterline Project.
Mr. Loffman,
Motion to suspend.
Ms. Hill.
Second to suspend.
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Evancho.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Mr. Loffman,
Motion to pass.
Mr. McMillan,
Second to pass?
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Laufman.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
That ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to request proposals and enter into an agreement for a construction project engineer. Inspector.
Mr. Leonard,
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Vancho.
I'll second the motion?
Roll call on the suspension, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Ms. McMillan,
Motion to pass?
Mr. Loffman,
Second to pass.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Zaleski.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to sign water wastewater grant program agreement and appropriate funds.
Mr. Leonard,
Motion to suspend.
Mr. Zaleski,
I'll second to suspend.
roll call on the suspension, please.
Zaleski.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
Mr. Zaleski,
Motion to pass.
Ms. Hill,
Second to pass.
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Leonard.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
That ordinance is declared adopted. Next, please.
An ordinance authorizing the administration to execute the EPA equipment grant agreement and appropriate funds.
Mr. McMillan,
Motion to suspend?
Mr. Leonard,
Second.
roll call on the suspension, please.
Evancho.
Yes.
Hill.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
And Mr. Loffman,
Motion to pass.
Mr. Evancho,
I'll second the motion?
any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hill.
Yes.
Leonard.
Yes.
McMillan.
Yes.
Zaleski.
Yes.
Laufman.
Yes.
Evancho.
Yes.
And that ordinance is declared adopted. We'll move to miscellaneous. Mr. Vancho,
Yes, I have two items tonight. First, though, I'd like to request to Finance Committee that we review the three elected officials, mayor, auditor, and law directors' salaries for the terms of 2024 to 2027.
need a motion to sit at the finance committee? Do we?
Yes.
Mr. Loffman?
Motion to send his idea to the finance committee.
Okay. Ms. McMillan?
I'll second that motion.
All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion's carried. Next.
Thank you. So yes, Finance Committee, the next meeting will be Monday, August 21st. We would like to change the time to about a half hour earlier to 4 o'clock, if that will work for Finance Committee. There's a conflict later in the day with a meeting that several of us have to attend, so it would be 4 p.m.
Councilor McMillan?
Well, I have a few things, if I may.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
You want to do city services first?
I'm sorry, I
you're
forgot
good,
we were
you're good.
meeting that.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'll make, motion that we, city services will meet at 4:15 or shortly after.
We don't have that very,
Need a second.
You've got to
Mr. Loffman?
set up committee as a whole as well.
Yeah, I will here in a second. I need a second for Jeff's motion.
No, you don't need a motion to.
Okay.
Yep.
And then committee as a whole meet at 4:30 or right after city services.
okay.
Okay, now, I'm sorry.
That's
Ms.
okay.
McMillan. Go ahead.
I have a few things. First of all, I kind of want to backbone what the mayor said. I'd like to thank my constituents for their patience down on the south side, being almost 4 streets over from the demolition. I can hear it pretty well, so I can't imagine. But I think once we get through the demolition and once the actual reconstruction begins, hopefully it won't be too bad. I've received calls and knocks on my doors. Have you heard that? Well, yeah, I have. So thanks to my constituents on the south side. And I know, Mayor, it's kind of early, but I did talk to Kim Conrad, and there is a fall cleanup scheduled.
in October. I don't have the exact date, probably the second Saturday, but I've been asked about that already. So as you're cleaning up, put your stuff somewhere and take it down there. Let's see, park board meeting. We had a park board meeting last Thursday. There's a lot happening, has been happening all summer at the park. The mayor indicated that they are getting a new heater at the pool, but they also are getting a new heating system at the Armory. Those are two major improvements to the facilities in the park. We know it's kind of late in the season. Well, it is for the heater at the pool, but it was needed. It is used at the very beginning. And the Armory, the heating system is just, oh gosh, 80 years old? It's very antiquated. It's well beyond its years. So I'm pleased to see that that's happening. Those were two major expenses. I do want to give a shout out to Marty and his crew. They've worked extra hard this summer to keep things going. The parks all look great as far as mowing and so on, and the setting up for the Salt Fork Festival, so on and so forth. The pickleball courts, Mr. Leno and the group there, they did raise the funds, and they have 2 additional pickleball courts that are going to be up and running. There is a tournament coming to Cambridge on September 9th, I believe, and Dave Conrath stopped in to give a report on that, and it's going to be something. I mean, I think the teams are really, so that's going to be great for the area as well. One of the biggest things, and I'm really excited about this, is that the ice skating rink that was down at the bottom of the viaduct will be moving to the big pavilion for the season. They're going to start setting up mid-October, open in November, December, into January, depending on the weather, possibly later. Caleb Graham and Johnny Westfall, great guys. And there's going to be some neat things planned in conjunction with the ice skating rink, better parking. They're going to have probably entertainment music-wise, looking at maybe some Halloween and or Christmas festivities going on. Of course, in Halloween, probably won't be ice skating. We don't know. But it's been, I know the park board's, it's been a pleasure for the park board to work with those 2 fellows to get that going. And I think it's going to be a win-win for the city and their business as well. So we look forward to that. So a lot going on out at the park. Tasty Treat is still open, going crazy as always. Yeah, right, Bill, yay. You know, they had some issues that the cooling air conditioner went down, and I think it was about 900 degrees in there, but the ice cream stayed good, yeah. So I just want to give a shout out to the park board and the Parks Department for everything that they do.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Ms. Kastner.
Well, the mayor mentioned that the Bobcats were going to kick off on Thursday night, which that sounds odd for everybody. Every time I say it, people look at me like I'm crazy, but I did find out today, I serve as the chairman for the Distinguished Alumni Hall of Fame Committee, and we generally do that at the first football game, and so it kind of threw a wrinkle in things when we found out it was Thursday, not Friday, but thankfully everybody got to get their plans made. But I found out today from Aaron Quinn, our athletic director, that the reason that they're doing that is because it will be televised on WTOV, I believe he said. So that was kind of a cool thing for our Bobcats to be able to be on TV, the first kickoff. So, and along those lines, I want to extend congratulations to 2 outstanding graduates from Cambridge High School from the class of 1971 that will be inducted into our Hall of Fame this weekend. Timothy Wayne Ball and John Mark Nicholson, both from the class of 71. It was kind of ironic. John Mark is actually the one that nominated Dig Wayne. So those 2 gentlemen will be inducted this weekend into the Hall of Fame. So looking forward to that, and love this program that the city schools does and recognizes some very outstanding graduates from Cambridge. So congrats to both.
Okay. Anybody else before I give my, Ms. Hill?
Just real quick, I wanted to reiterate what Mayor said about the Arts and Crafts Festival. It was, I think, a huge success. There was a lot of new arts and crafts out there this year, which was really cool. That's kind of fun to see something new. But I volunteered out there. I was there for the opening ceremonies on Friday, but I volunteered all day on Sunday. And one of the things I always like to do is booth sit, because I get a chance to actually sit and work with people, the vendors. But I also always like to hand out water to all of them. And you grab a golf cart and you ride along and you hand out water to these vendors. And nearly every single one of them said this is their favorite festival, that they are treated so well here, that the hospitality of just the committee and the volunteers is phenomenal, but they can feel the love and the support from the community, and how friendly everybody is. Almost every single one of them said something really, really nice about coming here. So I just want to throw that out there, because I know some people think that it's the same old thing. It's, nothing ever changes or whatever, but it really has grown, and it really, each year they work harder, harder and harder to, make it better and better. But those people are talking about us when they go home. So that's a really neat feeling.
Yep, and a deep appreciation for the people that, like you, that volunteer your time, and the people that have helped bring that back. It's always been a tremendous weekend for the city, and if you look at all the different people that had their class reunions that weekend, that was always the thing. So, but shout out to everybody. Also, before we adjourn, I saw Skip Weatherall today, who's the Community Service Coordinator for the Municipal Court, and he asked me to give a shout out to two different people that have helped his program at the court. One of them was Zuki Black, who went up and helped them with lights and stuff at the courthouse, and the other one was James Green. Skip used to work at the cemetery for James, and James lends them mowers when needed, and has been real cooperative in helping with that program. So it's great to see the cooperation between the different departments in the city. So kudos to those two guys, and for Skip for running such a good program. Anybody else? Okay, Mr. Leonard,
Make a motion, we adjourn.
we're adjourned.
Hey, Tom, I do have one more quick thing to say.